I think we good. I think we good. I think we could clear it. What's good, y'all? Y'all already know what time it is. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? And what's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode tonight of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in each and every Sunday. We're normally on Thursdays, but we're switching the days to Wednesday. So again, I apologize for coming on a little late. I'm normally on, you know, earlier, but again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. The chat is in here heavy already. I'm gonna shout y'all out in a quick second, but yo, again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning and tapping in. It means the world to me. And let's get started. I want to start off by thanking the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. I'm a little over 11,000 subscribers, so continue to like, subscribe, and share. Have over 500 rewatch videos on this podcast on this channel. I got excuse me, I got the the tic tacs and all that. But like I said, we got over 500 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. Make sure you tap into the membership portion of the page. Remember, y'all, different memberships do get granted different access, so make sure y'all tap in. We also have merchandise, live merchandise. If you tap into 44.com, you can actually access it again within the bio. All access. You get 10% off of everything in our store using the promo code Brothers Pod. If you use the promo code Brothers Pod, you can get yourself 10% off of everything in our store. Uh, Also, I want to thank y'all for supporting the new EP. And again, Winners Loyalty is up on every music platform. If you haven't already, again, tap in. All you gotta do is type in Ashley Lovechild, and it will pop up Winners Loyalty. And for all those who already have, continue to support bumping that great old music. Again, 6 songs of fire, especially for my hip hop fans. So make sure y'all tune and tap in. What else we got going on? Um, yeah, man, it's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be an amazing night. I want to shout out to the chat because the chat is already active, and I don't want to hold no further. Just showing my chat so much love, and I'm just again just astounded that y'all are here showing love and support. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to King P in the building. Shout out to Shay in the building. Shout out to Ebony in the building. Shout out to Culture in the building. Tremont in the building. It's new night, new night, new night. Yes, it's the new night, the new night. Every Wednesday, every Sunday. Every Wednesday, every Sunday. Instead of doing Thursday, we on every Wednesday, every Sunday from here on out. So, and I might add a Monday. But we're gonna see how this goes first. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying, let's stick to the two, and we'll see how the other one go first. But this is the new schedule on Wednesday. So again, thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Shout out to Hazel. Appreciate you. What's up, Ash? Yeah, appreciate you. Solo Slim. And mind y'all, these are badge holders, y'all. Big badge holders. Pause. Been flexing, and we got day ones in the building. So shout out to Solo Slim. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Rowan Jack in the building. He just gifted some of y'all in the chat with some memberships, some thank yous are in order. Send that man some thank yous. He sent y'all some memberships. So make sure y'all show him some love. Well deserved. Thank you, Rowan Jack, as always, supporting the show each and every episode. One of our day ones, our badge holders. You already know how we do, man. Appreciate you. A shout out to Christopher in the building. Sup, brother? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. And again, Rowan Jack gifted some members in the chat with some memberships. So again, some thank yous. Send that man some thank yous. Proud of you, brother. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's nothing like hearing genuine love. Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing like hearing that, man. I really appreciate that. Johnny in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Hey, gang. I popped to the Charlie Kirk shooting, and now I'm traumatized. Yeah, we're actually gonna talk about that a little later. Roy Jack got you. Went to yeah, gang. Yeah. Straight good looks. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I really, really do. I really, really do. Uh, like I said, it's been a real journey. It's been a real journey on this process and path. You learn a lot about yourself, and without, I don't want this to sound contrived or anything like that, but I'm really appreciative of you guys. I really am. And at the end of the day, we have a good time on here each and every time we're here. And I just want to thank y'all because the journey haven't been easy, but it's been necessary and it's been real. And it's been exciting too. Because most times when people do things, we just look to the fast forward. We don't look at the journey, and the journey is what really make the whole thing well worth it. So again, man, I want to thank y'all. All right, y'all. Let's not hold no further. Let's get the show started. Y'all already know first segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all already know these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. Remember to stay engaged in the chat. It's always fun when you stay engaged in the chat. All right, first question of the night. Remember, popular opinions is brought to you by OUV Records. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Biggest way Donald Trump could improve. Biggest way Donald Trump could improve. Number one, being calmer with the people. Calmer. It's that Brooklyn accent. You know what I'm saying? I got a Brooklyn effing accent. You know what I mean? But all right, number one, being calmer with people. Number two, getting rid of tariffs. Number three, cut spending. Number four, 8K stimulus check. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, question is biggest way Donald Trump could improve. Number one, being calmer with people. Number two, getting rid of tariffs. Number three, cut spending. Number four, 8K stimulus check. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. You know, look at the president no more. Average, Avenging Charlie. Kurt, cut spending. Number three, cuts. Yeah, so everybody's going with cut spending. I'm seeing a lot of cut spending in this one as well. Me personally, man, that cut spending I'm like right there with y'all, but we talking about $8,000 stimulus check. I mean, I'm also of the mindset if you have a lower cost of living, then you don't need the $8,000 stimulus check, right? You know what? I was gonna go with the $8,000 stimulus check, but I'll say cut spending because again, it's not how much money you have, it's how much things cost. And if things are cheaper all across the board, not just groceries and gas, we're talking about health insurance, we're talking about car insurance, we're talking about car payments, we're talking about house payments. house insurance, like all this stuff, right? So that will probably be the biggest dip. And I'm not talking about like a little corny cut. I'm talking about like big cuts that it would directly affect the bottom line in each and every working member of society. So I'm gonna agree with the chat. Y'all says cut spending. I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna say cut spending. Rowan Jack, 8K is 2 months of my mortgage. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like the 8K is like, so for example, if they came out tomorrow and say, yo, we got 8K for everybody, nobody's turning that down, right? But if there was a choice of them saying, hey, we could give y'all 8K or we could cut spending. And when we talk about cutting spending, for example, if your insurance is 2,500 every 6 months, we're gonna cut that bad boy back down to 725. If your rent, mortgage, or lease is 2,700, we're gonna cut that bad boy back down to 800. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about them prices, then we got something to talk about, right? So I'm gonna say cut spending. I'm gonna agree with y'all. So I said cut spending. The chat said cut spending. The rest of the world at 47%, mind you, 8,000 people voted on this, went with the 8K stimulus check. Man, people want to get paid. People want to get paid. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I say, even though I love our country, but our country don't show us much love, yo, because why not get the 8K and cut the spending at the same time? Y'all saying in the chat, that's 90s living. Let's go back to the 90s living when it comes to these prices. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we're living and working and driving in the same space. There's some upgrades to certain areas and things of that nature, but it's still the same damn space. So why not being able to pay that amount? But people are being able to pay that amount or charge that amount because they know people are making a little bit more. So why not be able to make a little more and actually spend less for our, for our everyday bills? That would have more people that is happy. You have more people spending access money that they're going to get the money back anyway. You're going to have more happier people. People are not stressing. People are not going crazy. So I think it will be better for our society anyway. 39-cent hamburgers from McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when McDonald's, you could literally go get, I haven't had fast food in a minute, but I remember there was a time when there was a dollar menu and you could actually get things for $1. I remember when I was a little kid, and to get a Big Mac meal, it was like $4.50. You could get you a Big Mac for like $3.50, and plus on the Monopoly thing, they were throwing one for free. All types of stuff. Like, it used to really be a real lower cost of living, but it really wasn't a low cost of living. It was just living according to what most people was making at that time. I remember my first job. Oh Lord, my first job that I ever had, working at Modell's. Now, actually, that was like my second job. The second job that I've ever had in my life, working at Modell's, I made $4.75 an hour. $4.75 an hour. This was like 90. This is like 90, 98, 99. Yeah. No, this is like 2001, 2002. Yeah, $4.75. And then I got hyped when I started making $5.25. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, yo, you about to have a daughter. I'm like, oh, so this $5.25 ain't gonna do it, baby. So, so again, I'm agreeing with y'all. Cut spending, and why not throwing the 8K on top of that? And the Happy Meals had awesome toys. I'm trying to tell you, McDonald's used to be an experience. That's why kids used to love McDonald's. McDonald's used to be a whole experience. You go, you eat your food, you go play in the little pinball thing, or the what they call that, the little pinball, not pinball, but y'all know what I'm talking about, the thing with the balls. Pause. And you're up in there having a grand old time, and you go home with a nice little toy. You know what I mean? Having a grand old time. The the playpen, the playpen. Shout out to Rowan Jack holding me down. Pause. The playpen, the playpen, the playpen was. If you went to a McDonald's that had a playpen, good luck, Chuck, to your mother for trying to get you out that drink. Cause I know my mother had her time trying to get me out the playpen. Once I done got me a good 15 minutes in, oh nah, leave. No, you can leave. I'm gonna be up in here chilling. Like, nah. So McDonald's used to be in the whole experience. So all right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Would you do friends with benefits relationship? Would you do friends with benefits relationships? I know I got some married folks in here, so I get, I'm guessing, before you got married, you know what I'm saying? So before some of y'all got married. For everybody else that's single, again, would you do a friends with benefits relationship? Number one, yes. Number two, no. Number three, right person. Number four, I did it already. I did it already. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, would you do a friends with benefits relationship? Number one, yes. Number two, no. Number three, right person. Number four, did it already. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. For me personally, I mean, I did this already. But I always say it for guys, it's an easy yes, right? But it always depends on the person. You can't do it with everybody. Even if you have access to a woman that y'all just have that understanding, y'all hang out, y'all get it popping, y'all go months from seeing each other. She could have a boyfriend. She could even be married. She could have a whatever, any type of situation she has going on. Every time you see her, you break her off with some, not money, with some, and that's just that type of relationship, and y'all just have that understanding. So I think that is boiled down, me personally, to the right person. Some of y'all may feel differently in the chat, but again, I'm gonna say the right person. I'm seeing in the chat, I'm seeing I did it already. I'm seeing a whole bunch of I did it already, I just want the benefits, no friend needed, but see, guys, we're different. Like, we could literally be active and not catch any feelings. Some women say that they can do the same thing, but the women that I've come in encounter with, they really can't. Like, even us doing our thing, after a while they do catch feelings, and after a while they do say things like, well, I don't do this with everybody. I do this with you because I feel a certain type of way towards you. So again, is there some women in the world that may be able to do this? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are exceptions. But it is what it is. We all have our desires and our wants. So again, me personally, I'm gonna say three. It all comes down to the right person. Even though I did this already, but still, it's always whoever the person is. So in the chat, I'm seeing a resounding 4. I've seen 3, I've seen 4, but I'm seeing a resounding 4. So again, I went with 3. Y'all went with 4. The rest of the world at 44% went with, and almost over 5,000, almost 5,000 people voted on this. So it's a little over 4,500. 44% went with number 3, the right person. Again, I'm not mad at that. You see, nobody's saying no. Ain't nobody saying no to a good time in 2025. Ain't nobody saying no. Even if you married, and you a dude, and you come home, and your wife give you some surprise, but like, you're going to get buns, but like, surprisingly, like if she met you at the door and popped off. You know what I mean? Like just something that's like off. Like yo, you normally don't do this. That's a good day for a married man. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you in a relationship where you live with your woman and she just give you surprise buns. You know, she got a new wig on or something, trying to throw you off just to, you know what I mean, spice it up. So, you know, like, so ain't nobody saying no to a good time. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Keep the show moving. Our next segment is Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Came up with this segment because there's a lot of trash ass movies in Hollywood. They haven't given us any movies with any intrigue, any type of just like yo, I can't wait to see it. Outside of Sinners in the month of July, I got better ideas for movies and movie series. Hold on, let me go back up to Row and Jack real quick. I don't care which one. What percent is the world said no? He said, what percent of the world said no? 3% said no. That was the percent of the world that said no. 3%. So I don't know what they on for them to say no to a good time. You feel me, Row and Jack? Like I don't know. I don't know. That's funny. All right, y'all. Moving on to, like I said, Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I would love to see a movie base. Yeah, I know love them biopic movies or movie series, but I think they make the best movies. So I would love to see actually a movie series, 8 episode movie series, hour long, and I would like to see this biopic on Arsenio Hall, and I want the Arsenio Hall show to be highlighted, him off and on the camera, and what it took to get the show popping, and all the controversy on keeping the show on, and just different things that we was going through in the country around those times that allow him to break through, outside of just the hard work, but everything that's on and off camera. I think this would be something so monumental and so positive. See, especially while Arsenio Hall is here to have his input. So again, I would love to see an Arsenio Hall biopic, and it has to be highlighted. The Arsenio Hall show must be highlighted. I also want this to be rated R. Director, I'm not sure. Well, we'll go with the director side of the game on this. But the cast, to me, whoever will play Arsenio Hall, in my opinion, has to be an unknown. Has to be an unknown. Somebody we haven't seen. Somebody that, if they do a great job, we see them as Arsenio Hall. Yo, Rowan Jack said Terry Crews. No, he cannot play Arsenio Hall. He cannot play Arsenio Hall. No, no way, no way, no, no. We not gonna do that. No, 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 no. Terry. Now Terry Crews probably could get up in the movie, but not Arsenio Hall, bro. Nah. But it will still be a fire movie. Would love to see this. Again, I don't know which director I would go with, but just somebody who's going to give the utmost love to this. So yeah, so I would love to see that movie. Yeah. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our must-see segment. Y'all know I'm gonna give y'all 3 fire must-see movies. With no further ado, the very first one came out in 2011, directed by DJ Corso. This movie stars Alex Pettyfer, Diana Agron, Teresa Palmer, Timothy Olyphant, Kevin Durand, Jake Abel, and Colleen MacArthur. This movie is called I Am Number 4. This movie is fire. This movie is so good. You like, damn, like, where's number 2? And they didn't do a number 2, but it's still a great movie. This movie's about a special group of individuals that's being hunted because of their special abilities, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you, so make sure you tap in to see I Am 4. Second must-see movie, Came out 1988, directed by Janet Greek. This movie stars Kelly Preston, Tim Daly, Rick Rosovic, Diane Bellamy, Audrey Lindsay, Anthony Savello, and Carrie H. Tawaga. This movie is called Spellbinder. Fire movie. This movie is about a young man that meets a woman uh, in the unlikeliest places. Um, this woman is claimed to another group, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap into see Spellbinder. And third and final must-see movie came out 1995, directed by Mark L. Lester. This movie stars Anthony McCarthy, John Glover, Scott Glenn, and Wayne Newton. This movie is called Night of the Running Man. Fire movie. I would say it's a really good movie. The only thing that don't make it a fire movie is that some of the music is a little misplaced in the movie. But outside of that, it's a damn good time. This movie's about a cab driver who picks up somebody and they get into a whole altercation. And you have to see the rest of the movie again. I won't spoil it for you, so make sure you tap in to see Night of the Running Man. So again, my 3 must-see movies, y'all. Y'all gotta tap into these. Number 1, I Am. Number 4. Number 2, Spellbinder. Number 3, Night of the Running Man. Again, watch these movies. Come back. Let me know. We can have a conversation about these great fire movies. And just let me know. It's a fire movie. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must-hear music. You know, I spotlight an artist each and every episode, whether they hip-hop or R&B, whether they new or old. Just know it's fire. So my artist tonight put these 3 songs on your playlist by this artist. R&B group called Allure. R&B group called Allure. Put these 3 songs on your playlist. Number 1, Head Over Heels featuring Nas. Number 2, No Question featuring LL Cool J. And number 3, Give You All I Got featuring Raekwon the Chef. So again, make sure y'all put those 3 songs on y'all playlist. These songs are fire. Again, the group is called Allure. And the song, again, is Head Over Heels featuring Nas. No Question featuring LL Cool J. And Give You All I Got featuring Raekwon the Chef. So make sure y'all put those on y'all playlist. Before I go to the must-read books, let me go back up. Good movie, Night of the Running Man. Night of the Running Man better not be another 8 millimeter. It's not. It's not an 8 millimeter. It's a nicer side of it's a much nicer side of 8 millimeter, but it gets cracking in 8 millimeter. I will say that it do get cracking in 8 millimeter. So again, make sure y'all tap into see 8 millimeter. Fire movie. Fire movie. Y'all telling y'all gonna thank me later. It's a fire movie. All right, y'all. You know I'm gonna give y'all a book to read, like I do each and every episode. So this book is called Interior Design Course: Principles, Practices, Techniques for the Aspiring Designer. This book is by Tamaris Tengas. The reason why I'm suggesting this book is just, spruce up your spot. Everybody has a home or a house, but it's not really a home until you put your personality into it. So this is a great book that teaches you principles and ways to decorate your spot, or to look for when you hire somebody. So again, it's a great book to read, get into. Again, it's called Interior Design Course: Principle, Practice, and Techniques for the Aspiring Designer. And again, by Tamaris Tengas. So make sure y'all tap into that book. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know, send them the turkey or nah. Send them the turkey or nah. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. It's very easy. Type it in to send them the turkey. Type in T to send them the turkey, and type it in not to. We send people to Turkey because Turkey has some of the most stringent laws, and it became like an inside joke in the show that when people just bugging out, we send them to Turkey. All right, so send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. First one, Alicia Keys launches a $1 billion fund for cultured owned businesses. Again, Alicia Keys uh, launches a $1 billion fund for cultured owned businesses. What I mean by cultured, I mean by black. I don't like saying the word black because we're not 3/5 of people and we're not 3/5 of a person. So I use the word culture instead because that's what we are. So Alicia Keys launches again a $1 billion fund for cultured people on their own businesses. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Are we sending her to Turkey or not? Are we sending her to Turkey or not? Let me know. I'm seeing not send. I'm seeing no's in the chat. Me personally, this sounds amazing. This sounds amazing. $1 billion. If $1 billion is going to small business owners who happen to be cultured or deals in a cultured community, I love it. But these type of things is kind of misleading because it's a headline. So where is this initiative based so people could really tap into the resources? Because you have a lot of business owners out here who happen to be cultured that can use the extra resources. So where do people go? All I see is the headline. There's no foundation for it where people can actually go, and she hasn't come out and spoke on it yet. Well, if you go to this website and you have these qualifications, then you could get some sort of assistance to help run or upkeep of some of the bills in your business. And it can help with payroll, it can help with equipment, it can help with location, it can help with outside repairs, it can help with all types of stuff with your businesses, right? So again, where do people go? When people say they did this for this particular set of people, okay, that sounds wonderful. But again, where do people go? Where can people tap into the resources? We see the headline, but where's the website? Where's the link to go to? Where's the location that people could go and be vetted to get these resources? And how soon will these resources be available? So it sounds great, but again, where's the real information? Where's the real information? So until I see that, me personally, I'm sending her to Turkey. Again, this sounds great, but again, at the end of the day, where can people get it? It's $1 billion. So there's plenty of money to go around for small businesses. And everybody is doing their own thing. So if you have these things available and it's credible, again, give the real information that people need and people want. Shout out to Rowan Jack, proof that we don't need government to help us. We can help each other and ourselves. That is a fact. That is a fact. Even though it's a part of the government job to help people that do help themselves, right? But I'm glad that we could build within our own culture and own ways to build up. But again, where is it? Where is it? Like, it's just one of those things that is like a little misleading. Like, I remember when the things was going on back in like 2019, 2020, and Michael Jordan came out and said, yeah, you know, I'm giving $100 million to Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, what do that mean? And I remember having a conversation with several people. And I'm like, what do that mean? Are you doing it for like their lawyers? Or are you doing it for like what is the initiative for? You're saying it's for Black Lives Matter, but what is Black Lives Matter going to do with that $100 million assessment? I mean, initiative. So you're basically just being misleading. Where can people go and tap into resources that are needed, and what is it going to be used for? So again, sounds amazing. I'm all for it, but give the real information. That's just my opinion on that. All right, y'all, moving on to our next one. Send them to Turkey or nah, send them to Turkey or nah. I Show Speed takes a tour back to his upbringing in Cincinnati, Ohio, and gives his childhood friends $30,000. Are we sending him to Turkey or nah for giving his childhood friends $30,000? Are we sending him to Turkey or nah? Let me know. Type in T to send them to Turkey. Type in N not to send them to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Me personally, I looked at the stream when he was doing this, and he went to like, he's been going to different places, and him reconnecting with his childhood friends was a beautiful moment. I think most people that are from backgrounds and situations where it was kind of like a no win, but you made it a win, and once you get out and you go back and you get that real energy, that real love, you just get overwhelmed with emotion, and you do want to see the people that you grew up with, was in the trenches with, at least get some sort of, head start or some sort of leg up. Me personally, I'm not going to send them to Turkey on this. I'm not. How can you, right? The only thing I was a little worried about and a little troubled, being that I Show Speed platform is huge. Pause. Um, and him showing that he's given his childhood friends is a beautiful moment. But I don't want those childhood friends to become targets because he's leaving. He's leaving. What his friends choose to do with the money is what they choose to do with the money. That's not even the worried part. But the scariest place that you could live is in other people's perception. So now that, yo, you know him and he bless you, is like, now you become like a low-key target. Especially if the people around you see you as a way out, see you as a meal ticket, see you as like, yo, if I get what he got, I can elevate myself. So that's what makes it scary. So when I look at the situation where I Show Speed giving his friends that type of money is a beautiful thing. Took him shopping and everything, right? Beautiful, right? Being in the position to do it. But sometimes when you do things and it's on display just for the world to see, even though it's a genuine moment, people are looking at it with hungry stomachs. And being that he's leaving, those people can become potential targets. I hope that's not the case, but I'm just stating the obvious. So, and I understand the ramifications of people being in the trenches and then other people seeing them get blessed, or them blessing themselves, them working hard and being able to elevate themselves, whether it's through work or through an opportunity. And people, start saying slick things, like, oh yeah, that I Show Speed money is working out for you, and all them type of things, that people could start becoming envious and jealous. So the fact that he did that for them is not the issue at all. I salute that. That's fire. I just wish that he would have did that off camera to mainly protect them, because he's well protected, but mainly to protect them because, again, they're still going to be there, and they're going to be looked at as, some sort of, mark, unless they carry a certain type of energy in their neighborhood. And even then, it's still, no matter who you are, no matter what type of energy you carry, there's always that one person. It's always that one person that want to try it. So I think it was a beautiful moment, but again, I just hope it's not tainted because it was on camera and they could potentially become targets. So that's what I think about regarding that. So, but shout out to I Show Speed for going back and showing his hometown love. They were showing him so much love and so proud of him. So I hope what I'm saying doesn't come to fruition. I hope what I'm saying is not a factor at all. I really truly believe in what I'm saying now. I really hope that's not the case. Shout out to Paul in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, Paul. One of our day ones, one of our loyal members of the pod. Appreciate you tapping. Hey, special night. Yes, Wednesday the new nights. Yes, absolutely. Didn't know you was live until just strolling the channel. Appreciate you here, Paul. You already know how we do. Paul, new nights, Wednesday. And so that's a fact. Roman Jack. Look, Roman Jack, man, holding it down, man. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps. Again, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Rapper 50 Cent has brought the rights to Paid in Full, the Paid in Full movie that was made so famous years ago. It is a classic. I probably quote Paid in Full at least 8 times a day. Different quotes too. It's that classic, it's that ingrained in my brain. But again, 50 Cent has brought the rights to the Paid in Full franchise or the Paid in Full movie, and is going to make it into a TV show on his network. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Even though I love the movie Paid in Full, I love the movie, and not just the story, and it's loosely based on true facts or based on the true story. Certain things is made for TV or made for the movies, and certain things was just spot on. The 3 people that they chose to highlight in that movie are hood legends. The acting of that movie is what took that movie to the next level. With the direction of Damon Dash, again, Paid in Full is under his belt. Fire movie that he put together, directed. But in conjunction with that leadership, you have Mekhi Phifer, Wood Harris, and Cameron that gave a performance that was so unexpected and so great and amazing. It was like next level how he portrayed goodness gracious, he portrayed Alpo, and his depiction of Alpo, he brought him to life. Mekhi Phifer depiction of Rich Porter, Wood Harris depiction of Ace was spot on. And but do we need it to be a TV show though? We got the Powers 50, we got the BMF 50. Paid in Full could actually be bigger and better, right? Depending on what type of writer you get for the show, type of actors you get for the show. It could be better, and it could be something that's very entertaining. But my only thing is this. Is this the only story that we can tell? Is this the only story that people would for sure tap into? That is like my main thing. Paid in Full, as the movie, as the story, is made to be a cautionary tale. And I'm not saying 50 Cent is doing this because I'm a big fan of 50 Cent. Not just as a artist, but as a father, as a man, as a businessman. We are not birthday twins, but we're zodiac twins. So a lot of moves that he makes, I'm like I understand it. When people are like, yo, he crazy, I'm like, no, they did that too. But I say that to say, is this the only story that we can tell? Paid in Full was made to be a cautionary tale. It wasn't made to be something that is lifestyle and something to look forward to. Mind you, being successful is something to look forward to. But how you're doing it and the slickness of it on how we're doing it is not aspirational. We have to find different things to be aspirational as well as being entertained. Now, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it too deep, but somebody like a 50 Cent that has the ability and the power to show things that's actually going to be seen. He has the power to put messaging in his projects now that will be long lasting and sitting with the culture and would add to the culture mentally and giving, game and people to think about. I got really in tune to one of his books. I mentioned one of his books on the show not too long ago. And some of those principles that he had in his books would be great for a TV series. Using your platform in your own TV show to input things that wouldn't fly on certain networks, wouldn't fly on these on these big platforms because they have their own agenda to occur. Why not have our own agenda to push? Pushing positivity, pushing love. And you could also have that in the realm of entertainment. You could also have that in the realm of people not doing right and having redemption stories. So I think that's also equally, if not more, entertaining. So, the idea is cool. Paid in Full is good to me as a one-off. Just like how New Jack City, people talking about, yo, we need a New Jack City. I'm not, again, if it's being written and brought as a cautionary tale, then cool. Make it for the newer generation that don't have their New Jack City, right? Because I mentioned if we do have another New Jack City in a past show, that it has to be a cautionary tale base. It can't be something that's glamorized, right? Because again, we see it in everyday life now as is now. Crime does not pay. Does not pay. So again, we can't glamorize and fall into the same trap. So that's what I think about that as far as the Paid in Full, him turning that into a TV series. 50 Cent is moving into production. He heard about Hollywood, need to ask us. I'm trying to tell you, because I did mention not Paid in Full, New Jack City on a Hollywood Need to Ask Us, but it has to be cautionary tale base. Has to be cautionary tale base. So I don't mind it, but some of these things deserve to be one-offs. New Jack City wasn't a show. It was a one-off, right? So if we're not doing that in that capacity, then I'm not sure if this is necessarily needed. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. What do y'all think about this year's NBA Hall of Fame class? I like, some of these names to me was like what? And some of these names is well deserved. So let me know what y'all think in the chat. What do y'all think of this year's Hall of Fame class in the NBA? So first up, we got Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is more than well deserved for this accolade, in my opinion. Successfully not being a great offensive player, but great as a rebounder, shot blocker, can score in the paint using his quickness, especially in his Orlando days. Orlando was a team you had to worry about every year with Dwight Howard. I would say after his fourth year in the NBA, you had to worry about Orlando making it to the conference final, especially when he got the right pieces around him. Turkoglu, Michael Petries, and that crew, right? And I honestly believe if he would have stayed in Orlando, I believe that you could attract big name players to Orlando. So I think if he would have stayed in Orlando, he would have been even better, in my opinion. But is he deserving of the Hall of Fame NBA? Yes, hands down. So we have Dwight Howard, LeBron James. Come on, it's laughable to say if LeBron James, if he's deserving of a Hall of Fame in the NBA, right? So Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Deron Williams, and Tyshawn Prince. All of these guys, LeBron, when you talk about LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, these are elite level two-way players. Wade had to change his game a little bit once he got hurt, but was still able to be a champion. Still able to be a champion. He won with Shaq, and Shaq was probably on the downside the very next year he came to Miami, but they wouldn't have won without Shaq. But Dwayne Wade, well deserved. Carmelo Anthony is an interesting one to me because Carmelo Anthony is a high volume player. When Carmelo's on that court, he's going to give you all that work, all that offensive ability, all of that. He was so good and so early. Um, but winning matters, and his play never dictated wins to the point where you got Carmelo on your team. We're going to the playoffs every year, and we're going to make a run every year. Like Dwayne Wade, right? When he was the lone guy, Miami Heat was still going to the playoffs. They wasn't, winning chips, but they was going to the playoffs. His play dictated wins. So Carmelo Anthony is very interesting to me. But if you're going to say Carmelo Anthony is a Hall of Famer, you're not getting no argument from me. Melo's nice. Melo's nice. Straight bucket. He's nice. But again, winning to me matters. It matters. But again, he deserves skill-wise, statistic-wise, to be in the NBA Hall of Fame. Straight up and down. Nice player. Nice. Stupid nice. So yeah. So that's what I'll say about that. Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer was a solid player. He was a really good player. Hall of Fame. I don't want to take away by me saying this, because I'm basically taking it away from him by saying it, but I can't take it away because he's already given a Hall of Fame, right? But Carlos Boozer just never struck me as a Hall of Fame player. He's never led a team. He's been a player that's been on a team, that's probably a captain, but I don't remember when I was a kid that the NBA guys, when they would play Utah, like, yo, we got Carlos Boozer tonight. Even though Carlos Boozer had outstanding games. You could type in and find a game where Carlos Boozer put up 24, 21 rebounds. You could find that, especially on them Utah days. Carlos Boozer was outstanding. But I can't put him in the same ilk of Karl Malone, Giannis, Dennis Rodman. Like, these are the type of players you cannot talk about the NBA without mentioning in the history of the NBA. Chris Webber, Dirk Nowitzki. I just don't see him in that class, and no disrespect to him at all. I think he's a good player, but I don't see him in their class. Kevin Garnett. I mean, there's that Tim Duncan, that list of power forwards. I don't see him as that in the Hall of Fame, but again, it is what it is. Deron Williams. Now, that one was also interesting as well to me too, because Deron Williams was one of the best point guards in the league in his time in the NBA. Arguably top three. There was some years he was flat out number one. Flat out number one. Again, them Utah days was different. I remember when Deron Williams first got to Brooklyn, it was different. Hall of Fame, I don't know. I just, again, I don't see Hall of Fame. And see, that's no disrespect to them, because in my eyes, when you play a sport, we got your bums, right? And nobody likes to be called the bum. And guys who are bums is guys that can't play. And people say, well, you can't be in the league and can't play. That's BS. There's been several guys that been in the league that had no business being in the league. Is that by and large? No. So you have your bums. Then you have your guys who can play. Then you have your guys who are contributors. Then you have your guys who are good players. Then you have your guys who are great. And then when you get to the exceptional, is guys when those are the Hall of Famers in my book. So to me, Carlos Boozer is a good player. He has some good years. He's been an all-star, I believe, like twice, 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. He was a good player. I don't see him as exceptional, in my opinion. Again, my opinion. Hall of Fame? No. Deron Williams, one of the best point guards in the league for a long time, especially in his prime. Good to great. He's good to great. Hall of Fame? I'm gonna say no. And then Tyshawn Prince. Tyshawn Prince is one of the best defenders at that three position ever in the game. He's one of the best. But his numbers, when you look at his numbers, is much to be desired. Even though he can shoot, he can score. He's not a scorer. Him being on that Pistons team, the Pistons wouldn't have won without Tyshawn Prince. I said it. They wouldn't have won without Tyshawn Prince. But good to great player in his time. In my opinion, not a franchise player, not a guy that could go to any team and just be like, yo, because I'm here, yo, we're going to win the championship. I believe Tyshawn Prince is a swing player. If you have a good team, he's going to make your team exceptional based on his style because he doesn't score. He's great playing with other superstars. I can't imagine with a guy like Tyshawn Prince on Philly when they had Allen Iverson, or on San Antonio when they had Duncan and all those guys. Like his style, people will want to play. A scorer will want to play with Tyshawn Prince. Great player. Hall of Fame? I would say no. That's just my opinion. But again, good to great players. Exceptional. When I think of Hall of Fame, I think of the Jordans. Let's go to power forwards. I think of the Kevin Garnett's, the Charles Barkley's, those type of Elka players. Y'all get where I'm going. I said these names already. Being that I mentioned Deron Williams, I think of the Isaiah Thomases, the Magic Johnsons, the Steph Currys. I think of those players. John Stockton. Those players was just different in my opinion. They was different. So all in all, even though I have a difference of opinion, wholeheartedly, genuinely, still congratulations to those guys. But I would love to know what y'all think of that in the chat. RP, Charlie Kirk. Shout out to Ernesto in the building. Appreciate you, Ernesto in the building. Appreciate you. Bronny is doing, you stupid, Ernesto. I'm not going to read the rest of that, Ernesto. Salute. Appreciate Dope in the building. You can talk about Fight Club. Shout out to Raiden in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Patrick was goody. One of our other badge holders in the building. One of them badge holders. Another badge holder tapping in. My dude, what up? What do you think about Melo in the Hall of Fame? I think Romero used there to the. I appreciate Raid in the building. But yeah, so that's what I thought about even Melo in the Hall of Fame. I think Melo was probably the most interesting one because Melo is exceptional from a skill point, a skill level. When you say, yo, Melo about to come in here and be like, what? You better lace him up. But his play just never dictated wins. And I honestly feel like winning should be a part of the Hall of Fame thing. But if somebody is to tell me Melo is a Hall of Famer, I'm not arguing with you. That's not an argument for me to have with you. Look at his numbers. Look at what he does against other top-level players. I'm not arguing with you with Melo if he deserves it. But it's just interesting because winning to me is a factor. And his play just didn't do that. Like if Melo get 40, we going to win tonight. It wasn't like that. If Melo get 40, Melo going to get 40. You going to feel all the bumps and bruises on your chest. Your feet is going to be worn out. You're going to be in that hot tub all night. Melo done put the time and the work in. So I'm not going to argue with anybody to say that Melo is a Hall of Famer. It's just that one is just, his was probably like I won't say the most interesting because, obviously I said what I said about some of the other guys, but his was like, yo, he's exceptional, but he didn't win. So But still deserving though, still deserving. If he would have won a championship, nobody would even think otherwise. And maybe I'm just the only person that thinks that way. But shout out to Melo, because again, he's well deserving. I'm not dissing him. I'm not saying he shouldn't have got it. It's just interesting that he never won. Melo made it right. Facts, 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 facts. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarikis was assaulted and stabbed in the throat during a random attack by DeCarlos Brown Jr. in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarikis stabbed and attacked and stabbed in the throat during a random attack by DeCarlos Brown. And this happened, DeCarlos Brown Jr., and this happened again in Charlotte, North Carolina on the bus. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I seen the video. I seen up into the part right before he was about to stab her, and like right after he stabbed her. I have no sympathy for this man. Yes, it's well known that he's probably mentally ill. He probably should have never been on the streets. Reportedly, he actually went to the police station not too far before that, and you know, he said that he was hearing voices of something of that nature, and you can't arrest somebody because they're hearing voices, but something should have been done. This woman, regardless if she was a refugee or not, she shouldn't have lost her life in that manner. That was disgusting. That was ugly. But that goes to show when people are mentally ill, they don't have no sense of humanity. And we also can't violate people's rights by arresting people for not doing non-crimes. But at the end of the day, he shouldn't have been able to do that. Shouldn't have been able to do that. Shouldn't have been able to carry around this knife that he had on him. And like, this was disgusting. And it was so random that this could have happened to anybody that we knew. Anybody that you know, this could have happened to. And I'm not trying to put that in the air, but I'm just saying that this was that random. This could have been anybody's mom, anybody's sister, anybody's cousin, anybody auntie, niece, anybody. It could have been anybody's girlfriend. And working all day, and you don't even have the courtesy, or you don't even have the luxury, I should say, to get on the bus, put your headphones on, and let your music just zone you out until you get your stop. We don't even have that luxury anymore. Because even though this happened to her in this form, this could have happened to a guy. This could have easily happened to a dude. You know how many times you've been on a public transportation, whether it's whether it's the train or whether it's the bus, that you fall asleep? I really believe that it's like a thing on the bus, on the train, where you just have to fall asleep. You just knocked out. She wasn't even sleeping. But I could go on the bus or the train and see several people knocked out and just waiting for their stop. And it's like, damn, where's the humanity? We don't even have that luxury anymore to do that. It's bad enough people got to take the train or the bus. Now you got to stay up. You got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to sit in a place where you can see everything coming. Just a damn shame, man. I honestly hope that this young man gets help. I hope he gets medicated. And he should never be allowed to be free again. He should forever be in jail. mentally ill or not. This was horrible. This was so disgusting. And again, it hits home when if this would have happened to your loved one. Because all you would do is have questions like, yo, why is he out? If he got a record, he got a long record pause. If he got this going on, he came to the cops. When you find all these details out, you like, yo, why is he out? So this is scary. This is scary. This is worse than any type of scary movie because, again, it was a random woman. It don't even matter that she was a refugee. She was a person. She was a human being. Imagine if you in another country and you was forced to leave your land anyway at any point in time. Working all day, busting your ass. Your real worry is paying your bills. Being able to stay in the country. Can't even fall asleep or chill out without being stabbed to death. Just despicable. So again, the Carlos Brown Jr., again, I hope he gets treated, and I hope that he gets life. So that's what I believe on that. That Satan, demonic robbery, is survival of the fittest. Yeah, I mean, I don't even, I get what the point we say survival of the fittest, but a part of survival of the fittest is being able to have a fighting chance. She didn't even have a fighting chance. And, you know, I don't want to blame her because that could have been anybody. That could have been you. That could have been me. How many times have you fell asleep on public transportation? Right? So, again, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's sad. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. The Cleveland Browns owner is upset that it was empty seats, low ticket sales at the last game. The fans are basically refusing to support the Cleveland Browns if Shedeur Sanders is not starting. Even though Shedeur Sanders still remain top 5 jerseys in the league, he has not played, but the jersey sales was great. But the owner is upset that, you know, low ticket sales is affecting their home advantage as well. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. See, here's the thing, right? I said this before, and I don't think the owner realized what's going on. People are not Cleveland Brown fans, bro. They Shedeur Sanders fans, bro. The same thing the owner had to realize on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They wasn't Cavalier fans, bro. They was LeBron fans. The people really feel that Shedeur is a franchise player and deserves to be the starting quarterback. I'm a believer that he should be the starting quarterback and have the chance to show that he's a franchise player. People also believe, because they've seen it with their 2 eyes, that he's better than the other guys you have in front of him. So I love the fact that we're in a space in place where we can support a player and not support the brand at the same time. Now, be all that it may, he has some approving to do as far as Shedeur Sanders. But as far as the owner's concerned, again, people are not Cleveland Brown fans. So if you have a player who affects your bottom line, I think it would behoove you to get that player ready to play. Because I guarantee you this. If the Cleveland Browns goes on to win 12 games, the league wouldn't care. The fans wouldn't care. They would say, damn, this is the lowest attendance we've ever had in a playoff game. Who doesn't come to a playoff game? People don't care. That kid you have on your team is a star. The people chose him. He's a star. So again, he has the talent, he has the ability, then it will behoove you to whatever you feel like he needs to improve on, to get him right. Because it's affecting your bottom line. And it doesn't make sense. I hate this motto when I hear NFL teams, well, we can't take this guy because we don't want to handle all the the backlash and all the things that comes with him. You're an NFL team. Your whole goal is to get attention. Let's not act like you in the business to win, bro. Not just Cleveland, but there's several franchises. They haven't won anything since the 70s. Haven't smelt the playoff. Haven't smelt consecutive winning seasons. You trying to get me to believe that you care about which players on your team generates, controversy and attention? Bruh, if you can't handle attention, especially for a league that has I don't want to say the FBI, but they have special agents to make sure that their assets is protected, and you can't handle a player and the attention that he gets and garners, bruh, dismiss me with all that. Dismiss me with all of that. You shouldn't be in the business of running a franchise. You shouldn't be in the business of running a Fortune 500 company, a $1 billion company. The NFL, the franchises, they are licensed to printing money. Licensed to print money. So them being in this situation and they can't sell tickets, it's solely on the Cleveland Browns. Solely. So you're telling me that he's not going to play because this guy is better. Okay, cool. Y'all better win. Y'all better win. Because if y'all don't, the people don't even believe y'all because they see it with their eyes. So now if y'all not winning and he's supposed to be the better player, then of course people are not going to support. You're going to continue to lose your credibility. So I don't feel bad for the owner. I don't feel bad for the team because it's owned by this owner. And he even came out and said he wasn't the guy I really wanted for real. How smart is that? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, some of these people that own things, that run these companies, they know how to get to a bag, but oh my goodness. Plum dumb takes a new meaning. Because by saying that, what play are you trying to run that's going to benefit your franchise? So you drafted a guy you don't believe in, you're just going to give a chance, see how it goes. You're killing your credibility, sir. Nobody would even be talking about Cleveland Browns if Shador wasn't on that team. Imagine if Cleveland Browns would have took Jackson Dart instead of Mason Graham. Imagine if they would have took, well, he was already gone. They would have took Jackson Dart. Now, Jackson Dart has looked good up to this point on the Giants team in preseason in their system. I still have Shador ahead of him. But if they were to draft Jackson Dart, nobody would be talking about the Cleveland Browns. Just saying. No matter what quarterback you'd have drafted, nobody would have been talking about y'all. So again, him coming out saying that, you lose credibility, sir. And now that you're losing credibility, it's affecting your bottom line. And they say you need to do stuff to do stuff. You have to have, the right education. You got to be in the system to get hired to this job, to do common sense and say common sense things. What power play were you trying to play? I know the power play. And it had nothing to do with winning. It has nothing to do with building a culture. It has nothing to do with having a positive bottom line. We reap what we sow. Moving on to my next hot topic. Human remains are found in an abandoned Tesla, and it was registered to a 20-year-old singer, uh, David Anthony Burke, who's also known as D4VD. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Facts, let Shador start. I ain't gonna let dude get them reps. That's a fact. That's a fact. Going back, shout out to Solo Slim. That's a fact. Oh, we got Malu in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. One of our big supporters on the pod. Appreciate you tapping in. Or finally caught the live. Yeah, we moved to Wednesday, so we're on every Wednesday, every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Sunday from here on out. Yeah, appreciate you, Malu. But let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, human remains found in abandoned Tesla registered to a 20-year-old singer, David Anthony Burke, also known as D4VD. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. This is interesting. He definitely has to come in for questioning. Not gonna put the brother on Front Street. Not gonna say, yo, you did something, because anything could have happened. Somebody could have, did some stuff, popped the trunk, threw the body in there, and kept it pushing, right? So you got to come in for questioning, bro. From right now, you at the behest of the police, and the more you cooperate, the quicker they would move you right along. Especially if you go above and beyond, showing them, hey, like, I don't got nothing to do with this. Like, hey, I'm popular, so I own quite a few things. And the things that I own are in public eye, public view, and anybody could have took it, anybody, So if I was him, I would participate, give them what they needed, so that way I could go back on to doing my thing, killing in my career, performing, and making my money. That's what I would do. But it's just interesting because, again, we don't hear this often. This is not a regular occurrence thing where people are stealing cars to ditch off dead bodies. So again, and if you got something to hide, even if it looks guilty, I'm not going in there without a lawyer. I'd rather look guilty at home. So the innocent in jail. Do that make sense? So if I'm him, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And it's, fame is a crazy thing to me, because fame, most people become famous off of something negative, right? When they're off and doing their thing, you don't hear nothing about these people, or artists, or politician, or speaker, or anybody in the realm of entertainment. You don't hear of these people while they're doing their thing, and they could be positive, and they could be uplifting the community. But until they do something negative, until they are perceived to be in a bad eye, we don't hear about none of these people. It's like, damn, even the guy, I'm gonna speak about him later, Charlie Kirk. I knew of him, but I never knew his name. I knew a guy that would go to different places, he would speak, and people would disagree with him, blah, blah, blah. I never knew his name until today. So it's crazy when people really become famous, it's always about something negative and not positive. So that's very interesting, because I've never heard of this artist until this story had popped. Shout out to Solo Slim. That was a wild story about dude being found in a Tesla. That's a fact. Again, we don't hear stories, by and large, where people are stealing vehicles to ditch off bodies. That's a new one on old Ash. You know what I mean? So he definitely gonna have to speak to the police. That sounds like some, one of my favorite shows. I still watch to this day. I catch it on Tubi. What's that show again? Damn, now I can't think of the show name, but it always starts off, he was a nice young man in a uprising city, and he was looking forward to his new job. and he worked a new job, and everybody loved him, and he met this woman, and the woman got her stuff together, and they went on a few dates, and they was in love, and and then it turned deadly. Somebody crept in the house and killed them both. I forget the name of that show, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I just can't think of the name, but it sounds like something like that. So yeah, I would participate with the police. Whatever y'all need, cool. But if I'm guilty, yeah, y'all not talking to me without a lawyer. Just saying. Wild man stolen the car with the body. That's gonna be hard one to prove. That's what I'm saying. This one is different on old Ash. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Okay, so I did that one. Michael Jackson, legendary Michael Jackson, has now sold over 1 million total album units in 2025. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, this is just a testament how great Michael Jackson is. I don't care if you never listen to Michael Jackson, which I don't believe. If somebody was telling me they never listen to Michael Jackson, I don't care if you a sports dude, if you a street dude. I don't care. I don't care what you are. You've listened to Michael Jackson before. You've been in your house before, watching the videos with your homeboys doing the Thriller walk, doing the Thriller dance. You was in your house chilling with your pops, with your auntie, grandma, big brother, little brother, trying to do the smooth criminal lean. Michael Jackson is just that dude, man. His music lives on, and I don't think people realize, like, Michael Jackson came out in like the late 60s, early 70s, and we in 2025 and he's still ringing bells. I found out something about Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 that blew my mind. I found out Michael Jackson has made $125,000 ever since the age of 9 up until he was probably about 16, 17. That type of money back in the 70s and 80s is crazy. Obviously, we know the numbers, what he did from then to now. And he's been gone for a while now. For a while. And his music still continues to stream. Still continues to sell albums. When people buy vinyls, they buy Michael Jackson for their vinyl. Not even a new album. They buy Michael Jackson. 1 million sold is not an easy thing to do. It's even crazy to do streaming. I've done that a few times myself. But nowhere near Michael Jackson numbers. Michael Jackson is a different type of famous. And he's a different type of next level artist. So well-deserved Michael Jackson. His legacy continues to live on. Nobody could mess with Mike, man. Mike is a bad dude, man. So shout out to Mike and his estate and his family. Shout out to Michael Jackson, man. Mike Jack, still the greatest. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Actor Derek Dixon speaking out on ABC News with Lindsay Davis, alleging Tyler Perry essayed him and harassed him while at a party and on show. And this was his claims again. Derek Dixon alleges that Tyler Perry had did this to him. Tyler Perry has denied all claims. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. MJ is the GOAT and can't wait to see the nephew play him in the biopic that's coming out the way Roberto Clemente has documentary coming out this Friday, produced by LeBron James. Okay. Yeah. Braun Productions be putting them things together in the movie space. In the movie space, that's a fact. That's a fact. But let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, actor Derek Dixon speaking out on ABC with Lindsay Davis alleging Tyler Perry SA'd him on the set of a show and at a party. He alleges that, well, again, Tyler Perry denies all claims, but he alleged that while at a party at Tyler Perry's house, he got a little tipsy. Tyler Perry offered, you could go sleep in one of the beds downstairs, and he alleged that when he looked up, Tyler Perry was in the bed with him and trying to get some motion. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I know for a fact he was on a show called The Oval. So for this, and The Oval is an active series. So this is going on. This is like wild. But again, Tyler Perry has denied all claims, so we have to make mention of that. But we have this essay case going on, and there's another essay case on Tyler Perry Studios, where one of the showrunners is alleged to essay another actor that was in an adjoining series. I believe the series is Ruthless, and I believe that same actor was also on the Oval as well. But it was another actor that's alleging that he was essayed by one of the Tyler Perry Studios showrunners. So I don't know if this is a culture going on at Tyler Perry Studios, that all these alleged acts is going on. I don't know if there's a culture where, people are being people and people want to shoot their shot. But once people say no, again, alleged, if people are saying no, you got to fall back. It's just that simple, in my opinion. When I think about stuff like this, there has to be something going on where we making it seem like this is okay. When I say we, I mean in the sense of them, as far as the studios, because again, this is going on and this is what's public. So if I'm a part of the studios, I'm trying to do my best to show that this is not the culture and these are just separate alleged events. And hopefully these alleged events would, show out to what it be, whatever that it lands on, hopefully it lands on the truth. But if I'm a part of the company, we can't have this. We can't have this. We can't have this type of energy and culture that people are being essayed or even being alleged. Even just having the alleged, just having that notion, that's not a place you even want to be around, regardless if it's true or not. The fact that it's already being said is like it's an unsafe place because it's a possibility. When people say stuff, regardless of if it's true or not, it's the fact that somebody said it. It already did its damage. The only people that's going to know for real is the people that it's involving. And that kind of sucks because when you're not a part of the foolishness, when you're not engaged in no type of wild behavior and your name gets thrown into something, people still in the back of their mind is going to be like, yeah, I could have seen him do it. Or it's just a part of your jacket. And that's a terrible thing because the truth should always matter, and it does. But again, on the outside looking in, perception also is a factor. And again, the scariest place that you could live is in somebody else's perception. So again, if I'm a part of their company, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm doing my damnedest to make sure that this is not a culture thing in this environment. Like, this doesn't happen here. And I don't know what steps that they have to take to show that, but they're going to have to do it. So this is, again, Dennis Dixon speaking out. this could have actually happened. Tyler Perry denies it all. So to Tyler Perry, this couldn't have happened. There's no way. There's no way that he mistaked my advances for, anything else. There was advances. If he would have turned me down, I would have said no. Or it couldn't have happened. That ain't happened. I ain't never come on him. Pause. This is, again, I'm speaking from Tyler Perry's perspective. If he's denying these things. So again, regardless, they got to do their damnedest to show that this is not a culture, that this does not happen. And even next week, right? Let's say, well, not next week. Let's say months from now, a woman is on set and she gets harassed by a guy or another woman. Culture, right? So again, they got to do their damnedest not to make this be perceived as a culture. Shout out to Patrick TP, maybe. Can't read the rest of that, my brother. Malu, it's a hard one. Yes. No pun intended. Ashley, unfortunately, the new generation and those apart from our values, are being absolutely effed up in the industry. Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah, yeah, I said what I said regarding that, because I agree with you. We're speaking in agreement on that one. I just don't want to regurgitate, but again, we just have to do a better job in making sure that things are just separate incidences, separate events that's happening, that it's like, yo, this ain't no thing. It's either it happened or it didn't happen. And sometimes some people can mistake an advance for harassment. I just had too many interactions with the opposite sex that I want to say never had that happen before. Like if I came on to somebody, it's like, it's either, all right, let's get it popping, or like, nah, I'm cool. I've never hit on a woman and she took it as harassment. Now, I've had a conversation with a woman before that I'm not attracted to, and she took it as if I liked her. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We just conversating, boo. I don't want you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. And so I've had that, but I've never had a conversation, or I've never, showed my attraction to a woman and she took it as harassment. So that's also something that's in the realm, in the pool too. And also, when you have money, when you have fame, you have means, access, you have to be careful who you talk to. You have to be careful. Now I understand why when you're in a certain class that you speak to the people in your class, because y'all speak the same language. Y'all speak the same language. Y'all understand the same things. It's a the gap on what you want and how the means of getting what you want is not that far off. When you start intermingling with people, and again, the scariest places you could live is somebody else's perception. You intermingling with people and they like, yo, I can make some money off of this person, whether it's a guy or a girl. And in most cases, it's guys. Well, a woman be like, yo, if I do this with him and then turn around and say this, I could get some money. Just that quick, just that simple. We looked at Shannon Sharp, and there's so many other different examples that we have. So, but me personally, I just never had a woman just be like, yeah, nah, he harassing me. So I've never had that. So, but yeah, facts. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Supreme Court Supreme Court is now allowing immigrant agents to resume stop based on language, race, and work with their job employment. So Supreme Court has ruled in their favor to allow immigrant agents to resume the way that they was doing prior to, when they stopped based on, again, language, race, and the type of jobs that they held. Um, Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I mean, I'm two ways about this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm two ways about this. The reason why I'm two ways about this is because I'm very respectful to other people's land, island, country, and if I'm in somebody else's country, I have to abide by their rules. If they don't want me in their country, then I have to go. If I get the ability to stay in their country, then I'm going to be cool. Like, I'll be cool and become a productive citizen. Now, I'm not saying that the people who are getting transported are not productive citizens. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that I respect the country so much. If I can't be there, then I'm not going to be there. I have to find my opportunity elsewhere. And me being a brother and me being a cultured man, I understand opportunity and lack of opportunity, and having to be creative with an opportunity. And some people say, well, that's easy to say because you're in a land where you could do basically what you want to do. Yes and no. I mean, in this land, you can't do what you want to do. We have laws that you have to abide by, rules and regulations. We have some free will, but we don't have free reign. So that, I believe that's different. Some people who are getting deported, it's not about nice. I remember in the 7th grade, and I was struggling with science in the first quarter, right? That's what it was, right? So my mom went up to the school to talk to the teacher, and the teacher kept saying to my mom, he's such a nice young man. He's so respectful. He doesn't give me any issues. But yet, but he got a D. He got a D in here. Him being nice don't got nothing to do with this D. He's nice enough to get a D. We need A's up in here, B. That niceness is going to get him on the street. He's not going to be successful. He's going to be begging for change somewhere, getting these D's. And the lady just looked at her like I don't understand. Like she really didn't understand. She just believed that being nice is going to get you somewhere, right? And my mom put inside of me, like, yo, I care that you're a nice person, right? Which, that's kind of sketchy, right? But that's not the factor. I want you to be successful. So you got to do the tools to be successful, right? So some of these people that's being transported back, it's not the fact that it's personal. It's either you're allowed to be here or you're not. It's either you're allowed to be here or you're not, based on the law, based on these regulations. Now, there's some people that came to this country as immigrants and they was able to stay, make a life for themselves. Their children is here. So now they are part of the American culture, right? Cool. I'm all for that. I'm not judging that, right? But as long as you're going to be here and you're going to be American, then be American. Don't be here talking crazy. Don't be here doing none of that, right? So it's not about personal, like, yo, if this person's nice, if they're a good fit. It's not about none of that. It's based on those rules and regulations if you're allowed to be here now. Again, if I was in somebody else's country and I'm not allowed to be there, and I know if I get transported back, I'm going to have lack of resources, lack of chances to come up, what else am I supposed to do? What else am I supposed to do? I can't stay here because I'm not allowed to be here. Am I going to scheme and try to find a way to stay? Yes. Keep it a buck. Yes. Get me some papers. I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to stay. If I get caught, if I had to go back, I have to deal with the reality. I'm a man in this country. I have to deal with the reality. I can't play in the grade. I have to deal with the reality. So if I had to go back to a country that had lack of resources and lack of ways for me to come up, what else am I supposed to do? Because I'm not going to go back and crawl under a rock, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to do the same either. They're going to have to continue to fight. What else you going to do but fight? So, yeah, I mean, that's the Supreme Court ruling. So you're going to see it being ramped back up. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. College football picks is in. My pick six. I'm calling this Saturday Sloppy Saturdays. Or Sloppy Saturday. Again, for college football, my 6 picks, I'm calling this week Saturday Sloppy Saturday. Because this Saturday is going to be sloppy wins. These are a lot of teams that could go back and forth. And I don't pick easy games. I could easily pick 6 easy games. But these are the games that are going to shape in some way the college season, whether it's the college playoffs and things of that matter. So again, I don't call easy games. So these 6 picks will dictate the way of the season for college football. So what time will it be? Or what time will it be? What time will it be? Are you talking about for the immigration? Well, it just went through the Supreme Court laws. It just went through. It just went through for the immigration. If that's what you're talking about. So again, y'all, my college football picks is in. My pick 6. Again, calling this week Sloppy Saturdays. And again, I do not call easy games. All my games dictates the college football playoffs. So. And these are games that anybody can get wrong. But, you know, trying to win some money on, you know what I'm saying? But this is definitely Sloppy Saturday. Sloppy Saturday. It could go either way, but this is what I'm going with. So my first game for my pick 6, Wisconsin playing number 19, Alabama. I'm going Alabama. Alabama looked real good last week. I think it's going to go into this week. Wisconsin is going to play a physical brand of football like they do, but I think Alabama and their quarterback play with Simpson is going to overlap this game. They're also playing in Tuscaloosa, so again, I'm going with Bama. I think they're the better team overall, and I think they will get this win. My number 2 game is number 6 Georgia going to number 15 Tennessee. Every ounce of me wants to go with Tennessee because it's a home game. That Tennessee atmosphere is going to be crazy. But I have to go with Georgia. Georgia plays well in big games. I think Georgia will lose in the season, but it won't be to Tennessee. This will be an early test. This game will also, in my opinion, be very sloppy. But I'm still going with number 6, Georgia, over number 15, Tennessee. My next game is number 5, Miami versus South Florida. South Florida is a scary team. They're a scary team. Their defense is really good, scary good. But this is going to be a sloppy game. Miami has a good team. They got Carson Beck over there from Georgia. I'm going with Miami because Miami needs this game to be ready for the college football playoffs. If they can't beat South Florida, then they're not college football playoff ready. They're not even a caliber team. So this is their first test. And as good as South Florida has looked, again, their offense doesn't produce a lot of points because their quarterback is such a dual threat. You don't fear anybody else on that offense like that. You just fear the quarterback. I just feel like Miami has too many athletes offensively and defensively. But I think offensively, they're going to be or have a much better output than what Florida did a week prior. So I'm going with Miami over South Florida. My next game is number 16, Texas, playing number 8, Notre Dame. I'm going with Notre Dame. Texas, great team, solid team, good team. But Arch Manning is still developing. He looked better against San Jose State, but he still doesn't look sharp. And because of the quarterback play, I'm going to go Notre Dame. Notre Dame already lost a close game uh, a little earlier in the season, well, a week prior to. So they have their big game under their belt. I believe they win this big game at home. So I'm going with Notre Dame. Uh, number 12, Clemson is going to Georgia State. This is probably one of the easier games, but it's on here. I'm going with Clemson. I'm going with Clemson. They have to bounce back from LSU if they have any chance. If they're going to play in the college football playoffs, they still have the aspirations to do it. I think this game is going to be a blowout because they trying to regulate. My next game is Florida versus number 3 LSU. They go to Death Valley. I think Florida is going to play a hell of a game. They're going to play a hell of a game. They lost to South Florida last week, had no business losing to them. They messed around, they found out. And again, I believe Florida comes up short against LSU. Again, LSU beat Clemson. And LSU can't afford to lose to Florida. I think this is going to be a very close game. Florida has them type of athletes. They have a great defense, but their offense is very spotty. One week they look one way, the next week they look another. And I think LSU will beat them in Death Valley. Death Valley is just a very hard place to play and win games at. So those are my pick 6 for college football. Again, I'm going with Bama over Wisconsin, Georgia over Tennessee, Miami over South Florida, Notre Dame over Texas, Clemson over Georgia State, and LSU over Florida. So again, if you try to win you some money on, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? Last week, my record was 4-2. So we're going to see with this week. And like I told y'all, as promised, I'm going to have for the NFL my pick 6. I'm going Seattle over the Steelers. No, I'm going Steelers over Seattle. But Seattle is going to going to the Steelers. Broncos going to the Colts. I got the Broncos. The Rams going to Tennessee. I got the Rams. Falcons and Vikings. That game could go either way. That game could go either way based on what I seen last week. But I'm going with the Falcons on this one. Jaguars, Bengals. That game could also go either way. But I'm going with the Bengals. Commanders and Packers. This was the hardest game to call this week. But I have to go with the Commanders. I have to go with the Commanders. And the Commanders are going to the Packers. So, again, this is going to be some great games. So I got the Steelers beating Seattle, Broncos beating Colts, the Rams beating the Titans, Falcons beating the Vikings, Bengals beating the Jaguars, and the Commanders beating the Packers for the NFL, my pick 6. So again, try to win you some money on. You're welcome. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Alive segment. This has been a running theme throughout the show, and we spoke about it just with different subjects. But we spoke very lightly on Charlie Kirk, who passed away, who was gunned down today at an open, event that he normally does at the University of Utah, which is crazy. To be at a university and for that to happen is crazy. But my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode is that free speech isn't free. Again, like how I spoke about the ICE agents or the immigration agents, grabbing people, going back to grabbing people now. There's a difference between having free will and just being free people. I'm no fan of Charlie Kirk. I didn't even know his name until today. I knew who he was because I've seen TikTok videos, YouTube videos of this man speaking to several people, and he would have disagreements. There was certain things I did agree with him about, and there's certain things I disagreed with him about. But that's neither here or there about what was agreed upon and what wasn't. The thing is, freedom of speech obviously is not so free. He paid the price of his life for having an opinion. There's no way, whether I agree, disagree with somebody, what I would resort to on taking their life. Regardless if I feel that person has the reach or the influence to inspire others to think the way that he thinks. I can't unalive you for thinking the way that you think. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to patron you. I don't have to engage with you. I don't have to give you clicks. I don't have to do anything of that. I can completely tune you out of my life. There's something called a remote, and there's something called channels. You can change it. Me having that type of power to engage, to support, to dismiss, if I don't like it, I'm going to keep on moving. I can't take your life because I have a difference of opinion than you. I just don't swing in that realm. So the fact that this man lost his life, and again, I'm not sticking up for him for anything. This is not about sticking up for this man. This is about right and this was about wrong. This was wrong. Having a difference of opinion of somebody is wrong. Having a difference of opinion of somebody is regular, but taking their life is wrong. We've seen it throughout history, right? But we've seen it with people from our culture. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, so on and so forth. The Black Panthers. It's too many to name, to be honest with you. And they was gunned down. They was murdered. They was assassinated by people that just have a difference of opinion than them. Only because they had the power. When they speak, people listen. When people speak, when they spoke, people felt that they could make change. And we know when people speak which type of people could make change or not. We see it. But regardless on how you feel, I cannot take your life. There's people out there that the bare sight of me, meaning, people from the KKK and, hate groups of that nature, just because of my creed, my race, they don't like me. I cannot unalive them because they don't like me based on my complexion and based on what I look like, based on what my background is. I cannot unalive you. If you put your hands on me, it becomes dicey, right? But even then, it's still, I can put you down severely. I could break something, but I don't have to unalive you. Having a difference of opinion, bruh, got a difference of opinion. I don't have to engage. I don't have to support. I don't have to show up. Ask me the last time the Ku Klux Klan had a public forum where they spoke. Ask me if I would even know. Would I even be there? Why? So again, to unalive somebody because of difference of opinion, free speech ain't free. Free speech isn't free. So that's my Keep the Lie Alive for this episode. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And we've been doing this. At what point are we going to learn? Because life, what people don't realize is life is something that's evolutionary. you're not the same person all the time, meaning that as we get older, we take on different ideologies. We take on different things that be like, you know what? I don't think that way anymore. I've done enough research, I've done enough in-depth education, and I don't have that in my heart anymore. So people do eventually have different thoughts and feelings as they get older. And even the very few that don't, because and I'm being facetious when I say that, because there's no way you get older and you don't have a difference of opinion, because as you get older, you get real with your mortality. You get real with something called Father Time. And at the end of the day, when you start looking at stuff down the barrel, you have a different viewpoint on what life is and what's important. At one point in time, paying your rent was the most important thing. Then after a while, when that rent is the last thing you got to worry about, it becomes something else. So things do change, and you don't give people a chance to evolve and have a different mindset. So for him to lose his life just because he has a difference of opinion on how you would do something is crazy. It's wrong. And again, it's not just for him. It's for all the people throughout history that was vocal in how they spoke. I could say something and people could take it the wrong way. I might have a change of opinion a couple months from now, or a year from now, 5 years from now. Maybe not. Still don't give you the right to unalive me. And I don't want to put that negative juju on me, so get that off of me real quick. But y'all get the point that I'm making. We've seen it too many times throughout history. Why can't we agree to disagree? And allow me to come to my own understanding later on. And even if I don't, it still doesn't give you the right. We could debate. We can have discourse. There's always a way for us to agree to disagree where there's not loss of life. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode, that free speech, freedom of speech isn't free. I want to shout out to y'all in the chat. It's even the law. It's funny that the last part get written with tiny letters. Yes, predators, I could take them out with the blink of an eye. Otherwise, I'm pretty cool. It's okay to agree to disagree. Shout out to Malu. I completely agree with you. Completely agree. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's all right. Even people that support you, I'm pretty sure I'm not batting 1,000. And what I mean by that, there's probably things that even my supporters may disagree that I say. And that's cool too. That's cool too. When I say things, I'm being very honest. When I say things, it's not for people to agree. I say things because it needs to be said. I'm saying things based on logic and based on education. I'm not going to speak based on pure feeling base. I really speak on pure feeling base, to be honest with you. But anything that's pure feeling base, I can't give that to you because it has to be wrapped in logic. So even if you disagree, that's cool too. That's cool too. I support plenty of people that I don't agree with every single thing that they say. That's okay. That's all right. Still got love. So to have the ability to agree to disagree is like we keep losing out. We keep losing out. And mind you, one thing I can say about this gentleman with Charlie Kirk, again, his ability to speak and it resonate regardless if you agree with him or not is a skill. And who knows what he's been able to do for the positive. I'm not going to concentrate on the words, but for the positive. Again, I didn't agree with everything he said neither. but I'm not gonna unalive him because we have a difference of an opinion. Like, again, what are we doing? I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been amazing. Y'all been amazing. If y'all got any questions, feel free to ask me any questions. We're on every Wednesday, every Sunday from here on out. Every Wednesday, every Sunday. I might add a Monday, but we'll see. We'll see. But again, every Wednesday, every Thursday, tune and tap in at 10:30. Again, I appreciate y'all each and every week, each and every episode for, again, supporting, hitting that engagement button. I mean, hitting that chat, engaging in the chat. Again, there's memberships. Different memberships do get granted different access. There's also links in the bio. Also, hit 44.com. Go to the store. You get 10% off on all products in our store if you use the promo code BrothersPod. If you use the promo code BrothersPod, again, you get 10% off on all products. This has been episode 193. Episode 200 is coming up. So again, I would love some ideas if y'all got some fun ideas that I can implement for episode 200. So, that would be absolutely fun. Absolutely fun. I think episode 200 is a big deal to me. So, yeah. Also, got some news for y'all for episode 200 as well. Some exciting things I've been working on, so I can't wait to share it with y'all. So again, make sure y'all tune and tap in for the next episode this Sunday. Also, got over 500 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. So again, tap in, y'all. Tap in. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button. Also, hit them hearts or hit them 100s in the chat. Again, it helps with the engagement and the growth of the show. This is Ken the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Again, I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. If this is your first time hearing of me. Also, again, for those of y'all that have been supporting my new EP, Winners Loyalty, again, continue to support. For those who haven't, type in Ashley Lovechild on any music platform and type into that good old music. My new EP, Winners Loyalty, is up on every music platform right now. 6 songs of fire, especially for my hip hop fans. Or tap into my other albums, Ready to Live, Soundtracks of My Life, some fire albums, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tap in. Again, I appreciate your support. Also, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11. So again, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, again, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. What else we got? I'm surprised y'all got no questions tonight. Y'all normally have like a whole bunch of questions. So if y'all got any questions, I'll show some love to the questions. I feel like I'm missing one more thing. Shout out to OUV Records. Y'all see it right there. Make sure y'all go to the Instagram at OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can also hit me on my Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. So again, tap in. It'll be great to hear from y'all, speak to y'all, you know what I'm saying? And if you're a member, not just a subscriber, and I love all of y'all, but if you're also a member, tap into the Instagram. I'll show love on the Instagram, but you gotta be a member though, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not, still pull up. I'll still show love, you know what I mean? So appreciate y'all as always. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Yeah, it's all good. But y'all, I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of the week. Light, love, energy. If anything negative happens, don't lay in negativity. Don't lay in negativity. So, Malu, I have one question. Okay, ask it. Ask your question. Ask your question. I'll answer it. Ask your question. Ashley, where is your partner at? I think I spoke about that before, but um, he he's home. He's at where he's at. He's good. He's chilling. You know, it's just me, baby. You know, it's just me, baby. But he chilling. He's at where he's at. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Malu. Appreciate the question. Again, if y'all got questions, I got answers. But yeah, it's just me, baby. Yeah. But again, y'all, from the bottom of my heart, thank you again for supporting. Make sure y'all tap into those movies and that music that I spoke earlier about. Make sure y'all tap in, and if you try to win you some money, use them picks. You know, use one of the picks, two of the picks. It's up to y'all. I'm just trying to show some love. But yeah, I'll be back again this Sunday at 10:30. Y'all know to tap in, show that love. It's a whole bunch of videos that just dropped as well. Whole bunch of videos that just dropped as well on the page. So make sure y'all tap into those videos as well. Y'all already know, man. It's love. I'm gonna see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. We out.